Hey everybody, welcome back to Airsoftology Mondays, the show that answers your questions, helps you out in a pinch, and also tells you why the Grinch prefers Springer pistols. I'm your host, Jonathan Higgs, and we are getting close to my favorite time of the year, the holiday season. It's Christmas, if you celebrate Hanukkah, New Year's, it's just so much fun. I get so excited. Plus, lots of cool stuff gift-wise coming in, and that means lots of cool, great Airsoft goodies for you guys, and hopefully me too. So this year, I hope you all get what you're asking for, and I hope some of the videos I made have helped you guys narrow down that decision. But as always, remember, this show and all of what I do is about you guys out there. So if there's something you want to see me review, if there's guns that are on the list that you're like on the fence for, let me know in the comments below, and I will do my best to get those in my review pile here and make a video for you guys. Also, same goes for questions on the show. Remember, this show is all about you as well, and it's nothing if you guys don't put those questions down in that comment section and vote up your favorites so I can get them answered for you. Quick programming note also before we jump into the questions, next week there will not be a Monday, so Monday show number 27, this is actually 26, will be on pause until after the New Year. So that little break between Christmas and New Year's is going to be a week off for me for Mondays, but that doesn't mean it's a week off for videos. In fact, I am cranking out the reviews this week all the way through the holidays. So keep your eyes peeled right here on this channel. Stay tuned, hit that old subscribe button, and I've got a ton of stuff. Lots of gun reviews. I've actually got a gun review you guys have been asking tons about. Actually, G&G Raider, GR15 Raider, the actual entry level kind of airsoft gun from G&G. That one is probably one of my most requested guns for reviews. Also Vulcan V12 engine. It's already shot. I'm finishing editing it right now. And a really cool beanie of all things that's kind of neat. It's got a really neat kind of thing to it. It's not just cloth, it's got some electronics to it, and that'll be coming up this week from BE Headwear. So guys, stay tuned. That plus so much more on the books for finishing out 2014. But enough about that. Let's get right into what this show is all about, and that is your questions. Blackbird1 writes, are games like the ones at your local field bad karma, boring now that you go to so many MilSim events? Absolutely not. In fact, I love a lot of different styles of airsoft. I mean, MilSim is fantastic, don't get me wrong. It's an amazing, immersive experience, but it's not everything. It takes a lot out of you. I mean, I go to an event like that and I am drained for like a couple weeks. Also, I really enjoy skirmishing because it's just instant action. MilSim can have some lulls and, you know, kind of some ups and downs. So kind of think of it like two different games. I mean, yeah, you do get some action in MilSim, by all means you do, but there's a lot of strategy and a lot of planning and a lot of other components to it. So think about like, if we're gonna talk about food, going to a buffet. It takes a while, you spend your time and you work through it. The skirmish side is like microwave food, let's say. So like, let's go with Totino's pizza rolls because they're freaking awesome. So that's it. It's instant gratification. It's tons of flavor, and it's, you might get, it's done in a couple minutes, you eat it, it's over in like a few minutes. That's really your local field games, your skirmishes. So do I love Totino's pizza rolls? Heck yeah. Do I like a really nice meal like at a buffet? Oh yeah, I like that too. So I think there's a place for both. All I know is now I'm really hungry. Dear Jonathan, I ref games at a local field and saw the enemy team call out a sniper and take cover. The entire team was crippled, and if the other team took advantage of this, they could have made a great push. Do you think that this will ever become a tactic to purposefully reveal yourself as a sniper to scare the other team? Thanks, and love the show. Yeah, actually I've seen this done, not on the sniper side, but a buddy of mine named NeoSpud had a flamethrower. It was nuts. Not a flamethrower like fire, but it was a high pressure air, home-built BB flamethrower, and it shot like 100 rounds a second. Didn't shoot hard like at 300 feet per second, but 100 BBs a second just flying in the air. And it made this crazy noise, and all he would have to do to hold down the entire side of a field is just shoot it in the air a couple times. And people were like, I'm not going over there, it's crazy. So yeah, I think the whole tactic of if that works for you and they're intimidated by a sniper, then heck yeah, man, take advantage of it if that's a good tactic to help you win. I mean, it's not cheating by any means, just the other team just doesn't want to push up, and to be honest, that's their fault. James Doolin writes, hey Jonathan, I was wondering if you'd recommend Evic Airsoft Camp for a team vacation. Thanks for the videos. Absolutely. I think airsoft camps are fantastic ways to let teams work together and build their skills. It's something you really can't do at your local field when you're playing skirmishes because, you're playing and you want to practice working with the team. And then when you have team training days, if you guys do those sort of things, you don't really have a forced to fight against. And you also don't really have someone that can stand back and watch you entirely as a team play. Usually that means one of your teammates or two of them have to stand back and observe. So to be able to go to like a team training camp like that EVIC would put on is great, or for that matter, any local field or local shop would put on. I think those are really great opportunities for you as a group to get together and play and build your skills and meet other players and work with them. Who knows, you might be able to grow your team, recruit some new players, and make some new friends. Sammy Dang writes, "Hey Jonathan, which would you prefer in a gun if you were going to a field with no restrictions? High rate of fire or high FPS? Which one and why? Thanks in advance, and aloha from Hawaii." And aloha right back at you. And I'm going to be out your way actually at the end of January, right after SHOT Show. I'm going to be flying back home and immediately on a plane on to Hawaii for almost a week there. So stay tuned. I'll post my schedule. I'm going to hit a bunch of shops. I'm going to hit Mojo Tactical, my buddy Dave, his shop over there. So I'll be on Oahu and around the Honolulu area. So I'm definitely going to try to go out and play some airsoft on there. Hopefully if I can do it. I know you guys get some pretty nutso fields out there. But to your question, I would definitely go high FPS all the way. And here's why. For me, I'd rather have the ability to reach out and touch someone at a farther distance, keep them away from me, keep them back and on the defensive, than have to worry about getting them too close. And I think with the high rate of fire, you're going to be trading off, well, in some cases, trading off high FPS for high rate of fire based on your question. So then you're dealing with a bunch of enemies up close. Sure, you can take them out with spraying them, but for me, I love to keep them back and pick them off at a range. That's just the way I love to play. And hands down, every day of the week, I would take a higher FPS gun versus a higher rate of fire gun. Of course, in a perfect world, we're not saying, cheating or anything with high FPS, but in your little question, in your environment, definitely FPS all the way. Ryan Career writes, "Hey Jonathan, I want to get to airsoft with my friends, but they're hesitant to try. The nearest field's about an hour away and I'm 13. Wondering if we should go play at the field or play at a hill near my house, which is on private property, so we can't get in trouble with the police." Do the field every single time. If you want to get your buddies in and play, going to a field like that and experiencing airsoft in a great closed environment with other teams and players and cool gear and guns, that's going to really sell them on the game. I would do that if you could, no problem. Work a carpool out and get out there. And if you get them hooked, then now you have multiple people you can swap out carpools with. You can talk the parents into changing out, every other weekend or something like that to get you guys out there to go play. And on top of that, you might even meet some people out there that are in your area and you can carpool with them. So yeah, and then just the experience of playing airsoft, it's definitely going to be worth going to that field. Plus, though, like I said, they're going to get to see other things out there and they can get their hands on other guns and get to see what it's really like and kind of take it all in. Tyler Labatt writes, "Is night vision really worth the cost? I've been considering going to a Milsim West game and having night vision would be great for the 40-hour event. If it is worth it, would you recommend something like a Gen 1 and add an IR light, or would you spend the money on a Gen 3 Plus? So going to Milsim events, I will definitely say having night vision is a game changer. In fact, I had a lot of people ask in this last video as well, can I review what I had sitting behind me, which is my night vision monocle here. Now this one's pretty darn old. I mean, they're extremely hard to find just because it is so old. It's a Morovision MVPS 10. It's made by ITT. It's forever ancient. I think it's like in the 90s it was built. So this is not a new tube by any means, but it works. I like it. It's a Gen 2 tube, so I get really good imaging. I mean, pretty darn good imaging. Gen 2 is pretty solid, and that's, if you're really wanting to be competitive with night vision, Gen 2 is kind of where you want to be. You don't always have to go to the Gen 3 or Gen 3 Plus. Don't get me wrong. I'd love to have that. I just don't have the $3,000 to drop on Gen 3 Plus or something along those lines. But that said, having night vision, yes, it does make a big difference. Gen 1s are okay. If you're running with a group of guys, Gen 1's better than nothing. They might work well as a weapon mount, and having that light will help you. Just keep in mind, if you got that really bright flashlight on, people with night vision are going to be able to see it like it's daylight. So they're going to kind of give away your position as well. So just kind of make sure you balance that out as an option. If you're looking at getting a Gen 1, they work pretty good on like starry nights. On cloudy nights, they get a little iffy without that flashlight. That's it for this week's questions, which means it is time for the quick review of the week. And you know what? I will do a little fast review on this guy, just in case, because I mean, heck, It's not like they even sell these things anymore. So what I have here is the Moravision MVPS 10s. They've been around, like I said, forever. They're a Gen 2 night vision, and they have a lot of things that are similar to most of the night vision here on the market, even modern. Now this one uses what's really cool, a CCTV lens. So CCTV, if I can even say that right. So instead of having your standard night vision lens on the front of this, it uses one from closed circuit television. So you actually have an open and closable aperture. Not to get deep into photography, but you can actually gauge it on down to like let no light in or open it all the way up. Some of the new ones are auto gated, so they're kind of handled that through electronics. But what makes it neat about that on this one, since you can crank it all the way down, if you put some light behind it, you can get really great depth of field. I mean, you can see forever. So you can actually do what a lot of people do with some add-ons on their night vision to be able to see. Because you guys didn't know this, with night vision, you have a very shallow depth of field, meaning that no matter what you have it set at, you're only gonna be able to see a small section. So I can set my night vision up to look at a far distance. So at night, I can see enemies at a distance, like at 100, 200 feet, 300 feet out, but I'm gonna be blurry. I mean, right here, my hand in front of my face would be incredibly blurry. And if I wanna set it for being up close, like I can see something like a lock, I'm working on, unlocking a lock or something, I won't be able to see anything past 7 or 8 feet, which could be an issue too. I mean, I will, but it'll be extremely blurry. So this will kind of allow you to tweak some settings and get the best of both worlds in a brighter nighttime environment. But yeah, I really like them. I got these from a buddy of mine, and they were broken, had to fix them. So I kind of got a really good deal on them. But you can pick these things up. I think now if you can find them, around the $700 range used. Like I said, the tubes are old, and they also came in Gen 3. It's one of the very first Gen 3 monocles, so it's kind of a 50-50 shoot whether you get the Gen 2 tubes or the Gen 3 tubes in here. If you get the Gen 3, super score, but like I said, I really like this one. I had a Butler Creek cap, so you can flip it up and I can keep it out of the way so it can get shot up, and then of course I use a Wilcox mount. This is a Wilcox dovetail, which mounts into my, my mount on my helmet. I've got 2 different mounts, but I can get into that on a different day with what I use to lock this onto my helmets. All right, guys, we're closing down the end of this episode, which means it is time for the video recommendation of the week. And this one's for a big YouTuber. Chances are you guys probably already subscribed to him, but I want to kind of point out this video. It's from the Jump to Crimea series from Jet Del Castillo. Of course, you guys know him as Jet Desert Fox, good friend of mine. And he put on a great video kind of giving you the essence of what a Milsim West event is all about. Because I know there's some questions about earlier in the show about going to a Milsim West event. So they're a little more immersive, they're a little more realistic, I guess stepping it up a notch, and this video does a fantastic job of showing you what it's all about. Because I mean, you're like 40 hours straight, sleeping out in the field. You have to do a lot more than what you would normally do at your other Milsim events where, okay, the evolution's over, everybody can go back to the cars and get some microwave food out. This, you're out there in the field and you got to set up security, and he does a great job. So if you guys haven't watched this one in particular, definitely go check it out. And if you don't subscribe to him, you're crazy because he's got like 1 billion subs, but you need to go hit the old subscribe button. He's got a lot of fantastic content, especially if you're into gameplay footage. A lot of fantastic stuff. Well, guys and gals, that is it for this episode of Mondays. Thank you, as always, so much for watching. Probably won't be one next week, so again, if I don't talk to you between now and January, I hope you have a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, and a fantastic New Year. And of course, keep watching the channel. It doesn't mean everything's going away, just we're gonna skip Mondays next week. I've got tons of reviews that'll be coming out between now and the new year when I join you guys on the Monday in January. But until then, remember, don't forget, comments down below, vote up your favorites. You've got 2 weeks actually now to kind of build those up and kind of get some great comments. But anyway, guys, thank you so much again for watching. If you like this video, hit the old share button down there and share it with all your friends. And until next time, remember, go out, play Airsoft, have some fun, but no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.